Dudes, what's going on, guys? Patrick here. Hope guys are all having a fantastic day, guys. Today I want to talk about how to get rich trading altcoins. Now, during a bull market, this is incredibly easy. And I want to share with you guys, even during bear markets, I keep things extremely simple when it comes to my analysis and when it comes to my trading, because I don't like the charts that look like this, right? And then, you have this on the chart and then people start pointing out like, oh, look, down here, you see how we hit the bottom over here, and then, we have the swirl. The swirl has this area in it here, more area in the swirl here, clear resistance of the swirl drawn that way. And then now I don't like that stuff. I like to keep things extremely simple, because when it comes to trading, you find the technicals, you find the key levels, you find, the momentum direction, and then you play the psychology of how people think, how people act. And I'm going to show you guys some of the simplest ways I've been able to identify trades during this bull market. Now, before we get started with that, if you guys want to see every single one of my trades, myself, my expert team are entering. First link down below in the description. Every altcoin trade, every leverage trade, we post them directly in there to help out as many of you guys as possible. Now, if you're not using some of these platforms that I use to trade, some of the tools, again, if you guys aren't using this, I think you're crazy. To me, these are 100% at this point necessary tools to trade, just because how easy they make it, how visual it is for you to look at, being able to set stop loss, take profit all in one place. To me, these are extremely important. So binance.com, this is the exchange I use. Every altcoin I buy, every stuff is always done on Binance. Bybit, if you're looking to leverage trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, stuff like that. Binance also has the futures part of it, which lets you leverage altcoins and stuff like that as well. 100% recommend checking those out. Be safe. Obviously, don't over leverage. Don't commit too much money that you can't afford to lose. But take a look at them, because with the leverage on Binance for altcoins, with Bybit, stuff like that, you are able to amplify your trades to potentially make even more. During a bull market where things are a little easier to predict, it does pay off very, very well. Check out all of those as well. I use ExpressVPN. Those are all the links to those if you guys want discount codes, as well as as well as credit and deposit bonuses. All of those links are going to be down below in the description, as well as the VPN I use to be able to use these. I use ExpressVPN. And lastly, 3 commas is the platform where you connect with an API. For example, take my Binance. You connect it with an API. Don't allow withdrawals. So that way it's obviously safe. And what it lets you do is it lets you set your buy zone, right? It lets you set where you want to buy. It lets you set a take profit and stop loss, a multiple take profits and stop losses at the same time, which you can't do on Binance, which is a huge pain. And being able to do this makes my life extremely easy. You set the price, you set everything you want, you can create everything on there, and then it tracks your trades as well. It tells you the percent up you are, percent down you are in each trade, and it makes everything just super visual, super clear to see. And I'm more of a visual person. I like to see everything in front of me, everything happening at one time, all the stop loss, everything set at the same time. This, to me, is a no-brainer. It's relatively cheap compared to how much it could be saving you. And the smart trade feature is basically the only thing I use. They have bots and stuff like that too, but the smart trade feature is the only thing I use. If you guys want it free, I think it's a free trial. The link's going to be in the description. Everything's going to be in there. But let's go into how to actually identify those trades. I know it's boring to talk about platforms, but you got to have the platforms in order to actually execute and to profit and everything from the trades. But let's go into how to actually set up the trade. I'm using XRP BTC as an example. Bitcoin pair, because we obviously want to make more Bitcoin. As the price of Bitcoin then goes up, we make even more money. But this would apply to XRP USDT, XRP USDC, XRP Ethereum, any crypto pair to Bitcoin to USDT, anything. This applies. The same process applies. This is just one that we were actually able to profit on recently that I want to share with you guys. So during a bull market, we obviously have the run up. Now, what we see happen, and you're going to notice, on small scales, very similar things play out, and that's why you can play this pattern multiple times. It's going to continue to play out. Just watch for it. This is the hour time frame. XRP had a run to the upside, right? It came up. It had its short-term top, or at least the top at the moment, which was 3,055 Satoshis. Then it started to have its first dip down, right? This is where the downtrend started. Obviously, we don't know that at the time, but it came down. It bounced off the EMA Ribbon, another one of my favorite indicators for trend. We are bullish above the EMA Ribbon at this time. We bounced above the support. We retested this position, right? Now we're starting to identify potentially a lower high here, and we're starting to be able to identify that the trend might be looking a little shaky, but still nothing to panic at the moment. Then we come down. We have another test of the EMA Ribbon. to another bounce off of the resistance. Now we're going to, we have 3 touches. We're already able to identify and start to draw out this resistance point, especially after the rejection comes in. Now, during this time, we could actually even take and draw what looks like a breakout pattern over here. This breakout pattern, another one of my favorite patterns I've talked about before. Price starts to consolidate, waiting for a move in either the up or the down direction, obviously. But the reason it's called the breakout pattern is usually this move tends to lead to bigger price action. As the price starts to consolidate, we start to get narrower and narrower price actions. We look for something big, right? We look for the break, and we look for the break to be relatively big. Now, the interesting thing here with breakout patterns is you only have to really play once they start to have that breakout. So what you see happen is within this area, we're just bouncing, right? We're just bouncing. You can play the supports. You can play the resistances to shorts, the supports to longs. But once we actually see that breakout pattern occur here, then we are able to enter a position, right? Okay, we're entering a short at this point, and we're able to ride it down, taking profits along the way because we finally had the actual breakout from this breakout pattern. Now, what we saw happen here is it went down and then came back. What was previously support is now resistance, rejected off it twice. But you'll notice the EMA ribbon also had a flip to the bearish side. Now we are below the EMA ribbon on the 1 hour time frame. Bearish, usually signaling more downward price action. Although we had some fake attempts, pumps to the upside, what would happen every time is we would reject off of the resistance we had drawn all the way back here, and we would reject off it multiple times. Now, the key ways to play the market, especially during a bull run to me, are the key trends, or the key trend lines, right? Supports and resistances. We have the resistance here. We have the supports. We're able to play within this perfectly as many trades as it's given to us. And then we are also able to play the breakouts. So whether it's this breakout pattern here that we are able to trade on the break to the downside, or if we look at this resistance that we had drawn multiple times, which each time allowed us to, potentially capitalize on shorts to the downside while we rejected, right? You could even draw a support down here that would hit multiple points to long as well. I'm keeping this as simple as possible, but you guys can add everything to it once it starts to get more comfortable for you. Then we start to have this point here, which we continue to reject off of the resistance until we start to make a little bit of higher lows, right? But the most important thing is always we broke above this resistance. And not only do we break above, but we had a confirmation of the break above, because this previously was 1 hour candle up, it closed, and the next one came right back down. We didn't have that breakout happen. This point, we actually had the breakout happen. If we were to measure from the breakout to the peak, this was a 32% move, let's say. With leverage 10x, that's 320%. With 5x, obviously, you guys do the math. I'm not going to try to do the math off the top of my head right here because I'm probably going to get it wrong. But still, a lot of opportunity watching for this breakout as well. And this pattern, like I showed you guys, very similar to that happens on a smaller scale multiple times over. We had multiple touches here of the bounce, the rejection, multiple rejections on this point, rejection, we broke above, then we are able to have the next move to the upside. Even here, we could draw resistance, and we could even draw support, a small channel forming where we could trade up, down before the breakout happens. So the whole point here that I want you guys to see is we don't have to overcomplicate it. We can look for supports and resistances. We can play those support and resistances on the breakout. So either play within the pattern itself or maybe play both of them. Wait for the actual price to have that breakout. And once it has that breakout, the volume's there, everything's there to play. You can then come in and profit on the direction that it's heading, whether it's break to the downside or break to the upside over here, or the upside over here, or the upside over here. Now back to the EMA ribbon, how we were able to sort of look at this and see what was going on here. We had the EMA ribbon flip bullish over here. We had a fake bullish attempt here, which immediately got rejected, and we went back bearish below it. But at this point, we had the bullish flip come in. Then the 1 hour time frame, we can zoom out to the 4 hour. The 4 hour, the flip obviously came a little bit later, but during the 1 hour flip, we started to enter within the EMA ribbon here. We had the bearish flip come in a little bit later. Then we came, we had the job that I showed you guys in the 1 hour looked the same. And then we had the start of the climb up to break above. We had the resistance break. right? The volume was there. Then we had the next candle in the 4-hour also take us higher, which was a little bit of a confirmation for us, leading to this bullish EMA ribbon flip. Now, once we had the price break up, the EMA ribbon, if you guys know, we usually like to use it as resistance, use it as support. Now that we are above it, we obviously use it as support. We came down perfectly to test the EMA ribbon as support, retest it before having that bounce move up to the next side. Now, currently, you guys see where we are here. I don't know by the time you're watching this video. Obviously, I pre-recorded this one because I'm on a trip to Atlanta and Florida. What we see happen here is potentially a flip. Now, we don't have the bearish flip come in yet, so we can't be 100% confident of exactly what's going to happen. But potentially, if we were to just look at the resistance like this, we might see something similar to this play out. Still too early to say. We can just play the smaller time frames and what we get at the time, right? Potentially playing off rejections and stuff. But this is something that we can try to identify as potentially, the trade waiting for the break of the resistance to take us to the upside. And then lastly, if we zoom out to the 1-day time frame, all we really had here, which is why I love the daily time frame, all we really had here was XRP coming down into the support of the EMA ribbon on the daily, bouncing off of the support, now having another retest into the support. That's all that we're seeing happen on the short term. But if you zoom into the 1 hour and look at how many trade opportunities we had off of one pair, this is just XRP BTC, right? And if we don't want to short during a bull run, we can just long, right? We can analyze here, maybe, we exit our position, or maybe we look to dollar cost average here. We look dollar cost average every time we hit these lows. So that way, when we do have that breakout, we can enter not only a long position, but our average has been bought lower, lower, lower. We're already in profit way earlier than if we had just bought at the top and held at this point. So that's sort of one of the, I want to say sort of, but it's really one of the ways that a lot of people have been making a lot of money in this market trading. You don't have to overcomplicate it. You don't need all the swirls and the million different things on your chart. The whole thing is about finding what works for you. I've seen people make millions of dollars daily using just supports and resistances. And I've seen people with the most complicated of charts struggle to be profitable. It's not about the charts. It's about what works for you. For me, I keep things simple. I use the EMA ribbon. I use supports and resistances a few times here and there. We'll add some more stuff. We have obviously the RSI we use as well, but a few times we'll add Fibonacci and stuff like that. But for the most part, I like to keep things very, very clean, very, very simple, identifying the key levels, identifying the zones we want to break. And like I said, if you look at a lot of other cryptocurrencies, you'll notice a very similar pattern play out with these sort of resistances being formed as we trade lower, 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 leading to a breakout finally, which takes us into that explosive run that we've seen previously. These patterns are there, and especially during the bull market, they repeat over and over and over again. They're extremely predictable. They're extremely profitable, and so I want to see you guys succeed. So if you guys enjoyed this video, you guys want to see more videos when it comes to trading, making money, all that in this market, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you leave a thumbs up on the video, letting me know you guys enjoy stuff like this. And most importantly, leave a comment down below, letting me know what you guys want to see more in the future, but not just that, what you guys think of this. Have you guys been using this? Let me know your thoughts on the whole thing. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Keep me up to date with profits, all that stuff, how it's going for you. If you have any questions, obviously ask me as well, either Twitter, Instagram, or leave a comment down below. I can try to answer those. Whichever one it is, I'll do my best to get back to you guys. It takes practice. I'm not going to say it's necessarily easy to identify off the rip if you're a beginner. It does take practice, but it's not nearly as hard as some of the complicated charts that I've seen. Those take a lot longer to master. Keeping things simple, it doesn't take too long. And I do believe anybody can do it. It's all about putting in the time and actually trying, right? So that's my thoughts on this, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.